Welcome to 5-Time Funky Facts on a Friday about a three-headed dragon and Godzilla, or whatever we're gonna call this. Although, I have to say, this time there isn't even 5 facts. So not even that's accurate. There's about 10 facts, because I couldn't decide. I couldn't narrow it down to 5. There was just so much I wanted to tell you. So you're getting another 5 Brucey bonuses. You're gonna get 10 facts this Friday. All the fun, all the joy. Let's kick it off. Let's start with the monsters. We've got Godzilla, we've got Rodan, we've got Ghidorah, we've got Mothra, we've got a Mutor, we've got a Behemoth, we've got Scylla, which is a big spider-like thing. But one that did intrigue me quite a bit was a monster called Leviathan, because it was spotted up in Scotland, with a Loch Ness Lake, and there is the Loch Ness Monster. Now, Toho in about 1978 did get in touch with Hammer Productions, who did Dracula and a lot of great horror films. They were going to team up to do a film about the Loch Ness Monster. There was even a poster made. I will show you the poster now, but the film was never made. And god damn it, I really wish this one would have been made, because what a fun little kaiju mania that could have been, revisiting a Loch Ness Monster movie. And plus it'd just be good to see a Loch Ness Monster movie. Sticking with other titans that coulda, shoulda, woulda, there is a tease of a potential Anguirus spotting. Now, during the whole underwater the temple scene with the seamen and the nuking of Godzilla and stuff, a big explosion happens in Seatopia, Atlantis, whatever you want to call it, and we see briefly, for like a split second or two, a skeleton of what looks like Anguirus. Now, legally, they couldn't call it Anguirus because every time that Legendary want to use a monster from the Toho universe, they have to pay X amount of money. So even if they said it was Anguirus, they'd have to pay shitloads of money. So it's just kind of vague and potentially coulda, woulda. But let's just say, for argument's sake, it is Anguirus. Michael Dougherty, the director, who's a big Godzilla fan, and you have to admit, against all the criticisms and everything, his fandom of Godzilla does show in this film. You can tell he loves it, and he did even want more recognisable kaiju in it, and he wanted Biollante and he wanted Gigan. Now, seeing a legendary Gigan and a legendary Biollante, I am all for that. Will another Godzilla sequel come out? Because financially this one didn't do as good as the first one, but then as soon as you introduce Kong, the money goes up. So will we get another Godzilla solo movie? I'm not pinning my hopes too much on that, but if it does, I would love to see Gigan, and I'd especially like to see another Biollante. Michael Dougherty has also gone on to answer lots of fan questions. One question in particular was, how did King Ghidorah get in Antarctica and get stuck in the ice and stuff? Initially I just presumed that that's how he crashed from space. That was my kind of thing, but no, apparently King Ghidorah landed, Godzilla didn't like it, they had a big fight for the title, and Godzilla put him down, and that is why he's there. So Godzilla beat King Ghidorah before, and that's why he's come back knowing he could beat him again. If you watched earlier in the week, I made a joke about Ghidorah in the NWO, and basically Ghidorah's 3 heads representing Scott, Hulk and Kevin. Now, there's an actual well-known meme of Ghidorah where one of the heads is called Kevin because of its simplicity, and it's simple and stuff like that, and it's a bit stupid, so that each head has got its own personality. You got the leader, you got the aggressive one, you got the stupid one. Now, I changed Kevin on to the right side rather than the left, because we can't call Big Sexy stupid. I'm not saying Scott's stupid neither, but I didn't want to associate that Kevin with that Kevin. I was separating Kevins. Stupidity doesn't stop at Kevin the Ghidorah head neither. It also goes to Rotten Tomatoes, who like to give this film like a 40%. The audience give it around 80%, which, to be honest, I'm probably somewhere more to the audience than the critics, but the critics, I don't like Rotten Tomatoes for shit like this. They're criticising this film on probably pompous stuff, and it's like, oh, well, look at how the dragon moves and its wings aren't very elegant in the sun, or some bullshit, or whatever the fuck they're whinging about. I'm criticising the film but on the fact that it's just about a film where we want to see monsters fight. That is what I'm judging it on. Don't give a shit about the frigging mum and her little plan to destroy the world and how stupid it is. I don't care, I don't mind that it's a stupid plot element, and that's not what I'm here to see. I'm here to see the monsters fight. Also, Rotten Tomatoes said this film is worse than Godzilla vs. Ebirah. They're saying it's worse than Godzilla Raids Again. I don't know if you've ever watched them two films, but they're both really bad Godzilla films, and this is a lot better than both of them. I'd rather watch this than them two any day of the week, so Rotten Tomatoes, shove it up your ass. However, if high art concept with thought-provoking storylines is your thing, then you might want to look to the Asylum, who made a knockoff of this film called Monster Island. Of course, I've never actually watched the film because it's far too high art for me, but if you are a critic, I urge you go out your way immediately and watch the film. I don't think I'd be able to watch it. I think the premise would go over my head and I don't think I'd be able to comprehend it. So I personally haven't watched it, but if you're into your high art, why don't you go out there and give it a try? Another thing to tell you is a nod to The Thing. Not The Thing as in Godzilla vs. The Thing, but The Thing as in John Carpenter's The Thing. The thing is, Outpost 32, where Ghidorah is found in Antarctica, is a direct nod to Outpost 31, where The Thing is found. And that's the thing you wanted to know. Number 2. Godzilla takes Ghidorah's head off in this film. We find out that Ghidorah can regenerate. Now you might be thinking, but I've seen every Godzilla film. When the fuck does that ever happen? And it does, but not in a Godzilla film. If you're a fan of the Rebirth of the Mothra trilogy, I personally am the first one, not so much the others, but in Rebirth 3, Mothra takes off Ghidorah's tail and that tail survives and regenerates an entire new Ghidorah. So the regeneration thing has been something that Toho did back in the 90s. It's not something brand new for this film. Michael Dougherty went in hard on this. And finally, let's talk Godzilla screen time. Godzilla appears in this film for about 9 minutes 54 seconds as opposed to the 9 minutes 23 seconds or whatever it is. So basically, Godzilla's in this film more, but only slightly. However, as a percentage, he's actually in it slightly less, as this film is longer. The key difference is, Godzilla's presence is felt throughout the entire film. So even though he's not in it all the time, when he's there, his presence is felt. And that is something Michael Dougherty did get right. So thank you for joining us on this bumper edition of Funky Facts about Freddy Dragons and Friends. Join us next week where it's Funky Facts about Funky Monkey and Friends. Godzilla vs Kong. I'll see you next week on Tuesday and for the facts on Friday.